Right, a very good morning, dear viewer. You're watching us here live on Westnile television in the show that is the KOKOLIRIKO show that comes every morning from Monday to Friday. We are concluding this week with the Friday edition today. That is the 25th of August 2023. We have a lot of things that we'll be sharing with you in the due course of the show, and also I want to inform you that we'll be hosting the Police Public Relations Officer for Westnile region, that is Senior Superintendent of Police, that is Josephine Angucia, who will be coming here to really talk so much things about the issues to do with the rising cases of GBV that is coming from different things. That is, maybe we may talk about the drug and substance abuses, and also about the law which is not there. What does it mean to the country, and also how we should be able to avert some of the cases that are escalating before really going to look at the issues of the law. And without the law, what can we do as communities? Those are things we'll be dealing with in the next hour of the show. But also, before I move further, I'll move maybe an inch. Let's have welcome remarks to those who are watching us within and also far. We have people within Arua City who are watching us, and also we appreciate you for joining us. We say Karibu, our Mini, here with me. We'll be discussing a lot of things. You expect so many things that are happening in different communities, in your villages, in your cells, in your municipals and town councils. Also looking at the issues that are inland and across this continent. Also, we welcome those from Maracha, those in Terego, those in Koboko, those in Yumpe, and then those in Moyo. We have people from Jumani sub-region. We have the Madi sub-region generally that has already formed an association for Westnile television. We will be coming in large numbers to launch that association as a television. We appreciate these kind of initiatives of really sustaining the developments that we have in this region. We hope this kind of associations that people are forming, specifically, I want to appreciate those in Madesa region who have come with their own initiatives of forming this association for Westnile television. We hope to back you up and also encourage you more to bring more people to have that association strengthened, and also look at the developmental goals of this kind of associations. We also expect other sub-regions like the Luru sub-region, the Lubara community to have the same, just like what people from Madi sub-region, specifically those in Moyo and Jumani, have done. We should emulate that to ensure that the sustainability of these kind of associations, and also we look at the income generating activities in this kind of associations. For an association to run very far and also wide, it needs resources. So these resources are mobilized by members, and also there should be a goal to achieve in this kind of associations. Let's not really form associations just to keep them for that. But also, as Westnile TV will be launching this kind of associations, in case you have one there, you give us the details, and also we incorporate you as a part of this television to really make sure that these associations go further in preaching the gospel about the only television that we have in this region that is able to really light up the region, and also look at the issues that we really feel like when we bring them forth, they will be able to change the society and also really impact positively on the livelihoods of our people. But also, let me shift to the Alurusa region, where we have the Pakwat district, we have the town councils, the municipals, and so on. Also, the Nebi district with the municipality that is geared towards also to a city status. We hope if the targets of developing this kind of municipalities into cities there, let's really make sure that the physical development plans that we have really favor the planning process and also the current development trends. We are glad that Nebi municipality is now this time embarking on upgrading the markets and also the taxi parks. This is one initiative that will put this kind of municipality forth and also really market it as to become a city in the near future. So those are things we need to put in plans. But also let's look at the issues of waste management, the garbage management system, and also how we should be able to utilize this in the various towns, the various municipalities and the cities that we have, and also ensure that these upcoming urban centers, let's not decongest them as early as they are still in the initial stages. Let's make sure the plans we have are able to accommodate parking and also are able to ensure that the lanes are really clearly marked to avoid these issues of congestion on the roads, but also street parking, which has really been a burden now already here in a rural city that we have seen so much is also resulting into accidents. Those are really things that the city by then, the municipality by then did not really foresee. So in their planning processes. So let's plan for the bigger years to come, because we don't know, you may never know, in the near future a village can become like a city in the near future. So those are things we really need to look for before we come up with some of the plans that we'll be able to implement in the various areas we'll be in. And also if you move to Zombo, there are a lot of developments that are coming up. I appreciate the initiative that people have taken to plant more trees where the whole district looks like a green one. So that is one district that has at least a good number of forests managed under the district, but also NFA coming in, and also so many other entities protecting, including individuals who have their own forests. That is very, very good, and it is a good initiative that will be able to curtail the harsh climatic conditions that we have in this region. Talk about in Pakwach. Right now, if you go to Pakwach, even Yumbe, it is very, very hot, so extremely hot, and also yet this month of August we expected rains to be continuously moving, and this is so unfortunate that we had tempered with the environment, and also now this is what we are experiencing out of it. So those of us who are still living, those of us who are still alive, let's really take initiatives of ensuring that the environment is restored by one, planting trees, but also secondly ensuring that the waste is segregated from the primary source. The primary source is you as the person who is generating this waste, the person who is throwing these caveras and so on. Where do you keep them before you begin maybe shouting to the authorities that they are not collecting garbage and so on? Where do you first of all place your garbage? The garbage bins that are placed at maybe by the roadsides, and also there are designated places of dumping some of these wastes. Do we really appreciate the efforts that have been put by the urban authorities to ensure that this are placed in the best places? Are we doing it in the right way? Those are things really we need to take as individuals. The primary sources are the generators of these wastes, that we really need to put them in the right places. But also those who are buying bananas and you want to eat when you are moving, those are really, really unfortunate. First of all, we really need to appreciate the eating habits that we have. If you are eating, you don't need to eat when you are walking. You need to stand and really ensure that what is termed as waste is put in one place, and also when you are moving, you move along with them and throw them where there are designated places to ensure that really our towns are clean, our maybe town councils are clean, the urban centers generally, they are clean. And also, let's ensure that if you are living in a town, there's already a law that is geared towards ensuring that we have beautiful urban centers. This law of littering and also ensuring that your structures look very, very organized is one thing. Talk about the physical planning act that we have in this country. It talks about what kind of building you should have in an urban center like a city. Talk about Arua city general. We have some dilapidated structures that are still in the town center, the business center, which is the central division. We have people who are still having those buildings that are not painted. So you'll be liable for 60 months in jail. So if you don't really come up and really paint these walls, have good compounds, and also ensure that the roofs of your houses are really that which are approved by the physical planning unit, you'll be in conflict with the law. So one time you can be apprehended and taken to court, just because you have failed to ensure that you beautify the city. Beautification of the city is not only in the hands of the authorities, but also the individuals who are living in these urban areas take live from these laws that we have. If you don't learn from yourself, then you'll be forced to learn. That's one problem that we'll be having with some of these people. One of the things is ensuring that if you are having a business, you should be having a garbage bin placed at your business premises. But also, there's need also to continuously have this hand washing equipment. The cans that people put with water and so on, where people wash their hands. That's one thing we need to continuously impress, and also ensure that the waste and the waste is put in the right place. But also, once you have collected garbage for maybe a good size, make sure that you inform the authorities to come and collect this garbage, because there are few places that are designated, but there are so many business premises that people sometimes fail to take this garbage to those designated places. But if you are able to manage and keep them in a right place and keep them safely before they move into the environment, that's one thing that will be appreciated, other than really throwing litter in the whole streets and also the corridors that we have. They have turned to be like urinary shelters and so on. Those are really, really unfortunate. We don't want to see that to appear in our urban centers. There are so many urban centers that could easily be upgraded, but because of what we do, the acts that we have, they have painted a picture that these are really places that may not develop. Those are things we need to really focus on, and also ensure that we prioritize cleaning our cities, prioritize cleaning our urban centers. Those who are operating this course, make sure you fulfill the available requirements that are set, because this has been one of the issues around the increase in teenage pregnancy cases, but also defilement and rape cases. Those are where really most of our young children have been deprived of their opportunities that will come in the near future, because they have been so much into these dances and so on. So these regulations that have been put by different actors, talk about the urban authorities, but also communities. I've seen some community members saying, we don't want this in our area. That's one thing that community need to learn from. It's quite appreciative that if we take those as priorities to do a lot within those areas. But also there are issues around street parking and also revenue collection in these urban centers. There are a lot of interventions that government has been bringing to these local governments to impress. Talk about the digitalized systems of revenue collection, and also how revenues will be mobilized. These are things that have been there coming, but we have seen some local governments not impressing. Out of the 152 districts and town councils that we have in this country, it is only 65%. 65% of that number have adapted to these new modern systems of revenue collections. That is quite unfortunate. We need to look at in Westnile region, how many do we have that are really participating in this electronic system of revenue collection. One of the initiatives under this was to one of the aims under this was to really ensure that people avoid these issues of using revenue at source. This has been a vice that government has been striving to address, looking at the issues of corruption and also accountability to these funds that have been collected from the people who are doing businesses and also people who really are paying these taxes. Talk about the local leaders and also those in political wing and so on. Those are people who also pay this revenue. We as in the employment sector, we have also been participating seriously in paying these taxes. But also now, if these taxes are collected and they don't reach the central treasury where they are supposed to be apportioned to these districts for proper planning, that is very, very unfortunate. We really employ all the administrators of these town councils and also the districts that have not taken up this opportunity, very, very paramount to really take a leaf from other districts that are embracing it. I've seen West Central Division already embracing it. That is very, very good. And also Nebi Municipality already doing this. Those are a few that I know about, and their revenue volumes have increased. That is very, very interesting. And also now, if the revenue has increased, that means the development goals will easily be achieved. There are a lot of things that really these local governments are planning to do, but because they have been waiting for 95% of their monies from central government, it has been a very difficult time, especially from the onset of COVID, where government was not ready to finance some of the projects fully. There were a lot of budget cuts. But if you have local revenue collected to a tune of 30% or 50%, that is very, very important. And there will be no challenge that these local governments will be going through, because they will be having a lot of money in their coffers. They will be able to have supplementary budgets to iron out some of these issues that they prioritize to benefit the local communities. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be able to discuss a lot of issues around the GBV aspects and also the cases of cataracts, cataracts and eye disease that has really become like a threat to the communities in this region, but also looking at issues surrounding the uterine fibroid, the disease that affects women general who are of reproductive age, which has become a threat, and many of them have gone through cesarean section because of this disease. We'll be discussing some of those if time allows. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be coming into those issues. Thank you.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Okay, welcome back from that commercial break. We are discussing a lot of things that are happening in these local governments, and we are looking at the issues of reorganizing and ensuring that the local governments are able to really achieve the targets that people really expect from them, especially in terms of service delivery, and also ensuring that the infrastructure in them in these urban centers are really organized in an organized way to attract a lot of developments, and also ensure that they are marketed to bring more revenue for these local authorities. But also we talked about a lot of issues to do with the environmental protection, and also how we should be able to improve from the wrongs that we did some time back, and how we are able to really bridge the gap between the reactions from the environment, and also how human beings are able to reliably and effectively relate with the current environment that we live in. But also let's turn our shift to the health sector, looking at the issues to do with the cataracts cases that are in the population that we have. There's one health facility that organized the health camp in Arua City, where they were able to really receive overwhelming number of people suffering from this cataract disease. That means there's a lot to do with the community about this eye defect that comes because of the hygiene that we have for our eyes. When you are really touching your eyes, touching your face, you need to have clean hands. Yeah, and also the lifestyle that we have, people love to put on eye goggles that are not recommended. Can we really impress this system of really first asking the medical officers, especially those who are in the ear department, I mean those who deal direct with the eyes, the ears, the nose, and so on. Those are sense organs that we have. See, if you cannot really live without a natural design, then you need a specialist to advise you on what to do. There are a lot of things to do with those defects, and also we have so many people who go to buy eyeglasses without knowing what they really need to use for their effective, the lifestyle they want to move on with. There are so many people who buy these black eye goggles. There are those who buy those orange, those colored ones, and those that are plain. So which one is convenient? That's where you'll be able to get it from a health worker who is a professional in the field and who deals directly under that docket of really ensuring that we protect vision. That is very, very paramount. There are so many people who have testified that after maybe suffering for 2 years or 3 years, they have been able to recover. But one eye operation from cataracts, one cataract surgery is done at 300,000 Ugandan shillings. Look at that money that we are spending just to operate one eye. So if both of them are not working, that means you are going to spend 600 Ugandan shillings, 600,000 Ugandan shillings, which you would have already used it for buying maybe a cow or some 5 goats for yourself. That's one thing we really need to take care about. If you look at people who have been suffering from cataract disease, you will realize that these are people who experience light sensation. It's very difficult for them to really be in a place where there's light, and also where the heat waves are coming so much. It is difficult for them to move into those areas, but also the issues to do with pain that they undergo. It's very quite unfortunate. And when you are total blind, it means there's nowhere you will be able to go and pick something, touch something, and also have a feeling of admiring maybe your loved ones and so on. It is very sad that some of us are able to undergo through those kind of experiences. So if we want to safeguard from that, let's refrain from this fumes that are coming from different things that produce them. Talk about chemicals, having interactions with chemicals frequently. Let's avoid them, but also let's look at the issues of clean environment. If we are moving into polluted environment, what do we have to do? That is one thing we need to impress, and also ensure that we protect our eyes before we move into some of these places. People who are working in industries, let's ensure that we put on attires and also protective gears to ensure that we don't have contract these eye diseases, and also not only eye diseases, we have respiratory diseases that we contract from these kind of places, including factories, and also we have hardwares where people offload cement and so on. These cements are like of that composition that have chemicals. So if some of this land into your eyes, quickly you need to wash your eyes with clean water, and also ensure that your hands are always clean before you touch your eyes. Those are some of the preventive measures that health workers have been able to advance. And also I feel if we're able to share this with the community and the people who are viewing us, we'll be able to really understand something from that. Those are some of the things around that area that I feel when we discuss, we talk about them, we should be able to learn from them. Cataracts is not an easy disease, but also looking at other eye diseases, talk about those, you could talk about the so-called the red eye. People commonly call some of them red eye, and also the trachomas that we talk about, where you see those signs of eye being red, eye feeling like the temperature in it is hot, and so on. Those are protruding eyeballs and so on. Those are things that always come when we don't care about our eyes. And also looking at the weather that is changing, we have during dry season, the wind that blows carries a lot of dirty, a lot of soil flies in the air. So those kind of things, we need to protect our eyes from them. So if you want to have that style of moving every time with eye goggles, please get an advice from a medical person who specializes in the eye department. Not every medical personnel has the knowledge of having that maybe working within the eye department. And also let's ensure that these private facilities that are providing the necessary maybe equipments for the eye, the gadgets that are used for the eye, are those that are really approved. there are some facilities that have not been approved, but they venture into some of these things which are quite dangerous to the life of your eye and also you as a whole. Because if you are blind, you will not be able to see, you will not be able to interact with people, you will not be able to watch these televisions that we are really bringing you a lot of information from. That is very, very unfortunate. And you have few friends, because there are so many people who have run away from their relatives who have been so much into this kind of experiences. So let's take a leave from that and also ensure that we protect. Prevention is very, very, very important, and also it's better than cure, because cure, just like I said earlier, you will be able to spend a lot of money. That 600,000 Ugandan shillings that you pay to the health workers to do eye operations, you could use it to develop your home. You could use it to pay the school fees of your children. You could use it to afford for yourself a transport. You could use it to do other things in your farm. So really, let's ensure that we take preventive measures so seriously, other than really rushing to health facilities when things are already worse and we spend a lot of money. And that 600,000 is not the only money you'll be able to spend when you are coming for this. There are issues to do with feeding, there are issues to do with the transport, there are issues to do with communication. So you spend a lot of money in these processes, and at last you will not really benefit so much, apart from your eyes now opening and you see poverty in your home. That's very, very unfortunate. So let's take the messages of prevention first, and when we utilize them very effectively, we are hopeful that we will be able to develop and have a wealthy family, and also have a population that grows healthy and wealthy. Is a population that is showing signs of development. Let's shift away from the issues to do with cataracts, but within health, we have the issues to do with uterine fibroids. These are termed to be the elongation of genes that we have in our bodies, especially the females, the women that we have that kind of things that develop in their uterus. That's because when your uterus is quite in a vacuum, and there's nothing like keeping it active in any way when you are in a reproductive age. One of these occurs between the mothers, the women that we have, who are in the age bracket between 15 to 45. That is the reproductive age. According to health workers, this develops up to 9 kilograms. You may think like you are pregnant, yet this kind of fibroids are growing into your womb. So we need to have medical checkups regularly for those who are abstaining from sex, and also those who do not really want to marry and who are not producing. It happens because of child spacing, too much child spacing, like up to 8 years. So if you have spaced your children beyond 8 years, you are likely to have these kind of infections. Also, those who really so much abstain from sex in their life for long, they are likely to face that kind of disease called the uterine fibroids. And also, right now in Westnile region, there are so many cases that are alarming from health facilities. From the information that we are getting, at least in a month, some health facilities are able to do operations for 2 or 3 mothers. That means the cases are increasing every time. So this is so high compared to last year. If we look at last year, at least in a space of 3 or 4 months, we could hear about 7 cases or 5 cases. But now in a month, if we are getting 3 or 4 cases, that means the cases are increasing. But we have not got the general data from other health facilities. We have just sampled a few of them, and that has been the average that we have been seeing. So that means people need to take the issues to do with their partners seriously. These issues of dodging your husband and wanting to stay alone, pretending to be a single mother is not allowed. When you are already in courtship or in a marriage, have respect for yourself, and also ensure that you continue with your family up to the last day. The last day, I mean, when death separates all of you. Because when you have taken that vow of having a family, let's really take it a serious thing and also continue with it for quite a long. Let's take a break, and when we come back, certainly we'll be able to move into other issues around this. But also, okay, the producer has projected how this uterine fibroid is able to develop. And you can see from the pictures, there are a lot of areas where this is expected to grow. We have those fibroids developing in the womb and also in the uterine tubes. We have those tubes termed to be the fallopian tubes, where babies are supposed to grow, but you realize that sometimes this tube is just closed up because the fibroids are able to grow from that kind of areas. But also, if you look at this picture that has been projected, you realize that sex plays a lot of role in the recovery from this kind of things. Before your womb grows into, maybe the tubes are blocked by these fibroids, you need to ensure that you have a partner. If you have a partner, much as you use the protective different family planning methods, you'll be able to be safe from that, because regular playing of sex is one of the remedies that health workers are saying we should prioritize. Like if you are married partners, at least 3 times in a week, that's one advice that we have been able to get from the health workers. So prioritizing sex is very important in avoiding these cases of uterine fibroid, but also looking at the issues of taking family planning methods is very serious to space children, instead of really abstaining for quite a long period of time. That will bring for you challenges. But we have also this, especially in the Catholic Church, a lot of our people in the sector of sisterhood, a lot of them have gone into this challenge. But I think the Catholic Church needed to also really look at that issue critically to avoid the sisters really moving into those kind of surgeries and also those kind of operations that really take a lot of their time and also life. Sometimes these operations, when they are not done by good medical personnel, sometimes it can take off your life. So we need to look for solutions for people to really live safe, but also look at how to avoid some of these cases. If you look at the cost of operations for the uterine fibroids in health facilities, especially the private facilities, it ranges between 800,000 Ugandan shillings to 1.5. Others go up to 5 million Ugandan shillings. It depends on the type of surgery, the type of equipments that are used, but also there are moments where they remove the whole womb of a woman. So that means it stops you from reproducing, especially based on your consent and also what you really want to do in the near future. There are women who say, maybe I'm tired of producing and so on. Those are the moments where they go extreme to really remove the womb. But also there are some processes, methods that are called elective. There are others that are called manual, and so those different methods of operations for this uterine fibroids cost a lot. So for us to prevent, for those who are married partners, prioritize sex and also ensure that it is regular. 3 times in a week is what health workers are saying. 3 times in a week. Make sure that you are in contact with your husband, not really outside marriage. Please, let's ensure that we respect the marriage partners that we have, and also ensure that we live in a peaceful home, and ensure that we also raise children in a better way. And also, if you look at those who are in school, for those who really don't want to marry at the moment, make sure you prioritize the family planning methods that are youth-friendly, that are able to help you to achieve your goals in education, and also ensure that these kind of diseases like that develop in the uterine vessels, I mean the fallopian tubes, and also in the womb that develop, they are not there. To eradicate that, let's utilize the different family planning methods that will be able to help you. Most importantly is as we use the family planning methods, let's ensure that also the diseases of sexual intercourse that transmit through sexual intercourse are also averted as we go into this. But I'm not saying that all of us run for sex, but also let's ensure that whatever we do is able to prevent us from getting more diseases, other than really fighting for one. That you may think you are running away from uterine fibroids and prioritizing sex without protecting yourself, you will be able to contract HIV. HIV is still around, but also we have other diseases that are sexually transmitted. So let's look at that angle very seriously as we debate around this issue of using sex to prevent uterine fibroid that is costing a lot of monies from our people in this region, and also the nation at large, because there are a number of facilities that are looking at getting money from this kind of opportunities. They look at diseases as opportunities of getting money. So how do we avert this before the disease takes us to those health facilities? We have seen our government facilities also doing a lot of things around operations, and also making sure that people do not really have these kind of diseases. There's sex education that is already going on in some of these health facilities, and those that are not really doing this, can we look at you as an example that you are able to also venture into youth-friendly activities, like talk about sex education, talk about also how people should be able to manage their families, how people are able to manage hygiene, apart from all the messages that you health workers are able to deliver at the outpatient departments to the general public. Do you have other spaces where you are able to interact with the young people generally on this kind of diseases that come, and also some other issues that may help the young people in coming up with better families in the near future? Those are things I feel really we need to do in order to really prevent some of these diseases. Some of these diseases are not really too common that everyone is able to talk about in any place, any gathering and so on. But some of these people are able to get them from health facilities, especially the health center 3s, the health center 2s. At least I know we have challenges with the structures. The infrastructure is not enough. We have no enough rooms and to have this kind of spaces created. But let's spare some time and also take these young people maybe under the tree. You sit with them and talk to them that this kind of disease that has come, this is how you are able to protect yourself. I know, even if we say the young people should not engage in sexual behaviors, this will not yield so much fruit, but only if we are able to educate them and tell them where to really go rightly if you are able to, by coincidence, come in contact in sexual intercourse, what do you need to do in order to prevent yourself from, one, sexually transmitted diseases, two, to prevent yourself from also conceiving or maybe getting pregnant at a tender age. These are things, because the world is evolving. We are in the modern era where young people are able to learn a lot of things from different platforms, where as a parent you are not able to deliver them the messages earlier. You realize that they have learned from their peers, where they are able to, they have gotten the message from other colleagues when you have not even told them. So those are things where we feel like if you are able to bring them forefront earlier, it is very, very important. But also health workers talk to the people, the young people, about some of these things. And also the churches, the mosques that we have, please prioritize talking about some of these kind of diseases. I know there are some religious institutions that may not talk about sex openly, that may not talk about relationships openly, but make sure in one way or the other way, the way you can speak where possible. We have associations in these churches, we have associations in these mosques. Use those structures to disseminate information to the people in order to reach a very wider coverage, and also ensure that majority of the people are able to get this kind of messages. But also the message should be timely delivered, and the message you deliver, you should be able to get it from a specialist who is working in such a field, to ensure that you deliver the rightful message, other than really giving a false information that will spoil the community in the near future. That will also turn to be a kind of insecurity to this community again. That is one thing I wanted to first stretch so much into, as far as the issues of uterine fibroid is concerned. But also quick to this is in case you feel like you have those issues to do with pain in the lower abdomen, and also back pain, and also those complications that you are feeling in your womb, please run to health facilities as early as possible to ensure that this is controlled before it reaches a final stage that can really cause for you a lot of challenges, like tearing of your uterus and so on. These kind of things really can really stop you from reproducing. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be able to dive into other issues away from the health sector, and also the social issues that we have, and also the different programs that government is rolling to the people, and how really people are taking up these kind of projects into the rightful use. Thank you.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that commercial break that was quite extended. We have been just joined by the police public relations officer, that is Senior Superintendent of Police, that is Josephine Agutia, who is the public relations officer for the Westnile region. We'll be discussing a lot of issues to do with gender-based violence and what is really inside this gender-based violence and what is the situation of GBV in this region of Westnile, and also the factors behind this and how best we could really be able to come back from that. We are all aware that during the COVID-19, the cases were so overwhelming, and that's what we are coming back to. Does it mean the cases have continued to shoot even after the COVID-19? And also we saw that the Constitutional Court annulled the anti-narcotic drugs law that we had for this country, and we are well aware that the laws are being really worked on. This coming by the parliament. Currently we are still running up and down to ensure that we have a law. So what does this mean? Without the law, how is the situation currently? Josephine Agusia, maybe you're most welcome to Westnile Television. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, that is her that will be discussing about this. Maybe what is the situation of gender-based violence in Westnile region currently?
Yeah, thank you so much. Currently in Westnile region, we still have got so many cases of gender-based violence matters, much as police and other partner organizations are trying to work hard so as to reduce cases of gender-based violence in the region. But we still have quite many cases registered across the region.
Maybe in terms of figures, how is the picture like, and also which districts are reporting most of these cases?
Concerning the figures, we are yet compiling the statistics. We have not yet concluded with it, but next time I'll be able to give the exact figures. But what I can say right now is that we have quite many cases of gender-based violence registered in the region.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, maybe what are the factors that are fueling this kind of GBV cases that we have in this region?
Yeah, there are a number of factors, and one of the major factors has been culture. You know, culture is good, but then there are certain harmful practices of culture which still encourage gender-based violence in our communities. And of course in our communities, somehow it appears normal. Some of these violences directed to a person, depending on the gender of a person, appear to be normal in the communities across Westnile region. People do not really take them to be serious crimes. For instance, if we look at defilement, rape, let's say sex-related cases, you find that these cases are commonly occurring in the communities, and people prefer the cases to be settled amicably through payment of animals, maybe money equivalent to animals, and thereafter they continue normal. And in some other cases, they prefer the young girls to get married to the person who might have defiled or raped her. The family members simply come together and take this young girl to the defiler's home, that she should now remain as a wife to this person. And these are some of the practices which are still existing in our communities. And that's why by the time these cases come to police, in most cases, it is when they have attempted to try to solve and they are failing, or one party, especially the side of the perpetrator, is failing. That's when they come to report to police. And after reporting to police, in most cases, the matter does not also go up to logical conclusion in courts of law. Somewhere, somehow, the police report will encourage the perpetrators to go and sit with the side of the victim for better terms. In other words, it is like a way of encouraging them to really take discussions or harmonization serious. And after harmonizing their matters, both parties will tell us that they are not able to proceed. And when it comes to maybe court hearing, or when it comes to the matter going to RSA, you find for them they have already handled. They tell us that they have already settled their matters culturally at family levels. So for them, they are not ready to proceed anywhere. So in most cases, they end up dying somewhere. Even if they go to court, still within court setting, as the criminal matter is going on, in homes they will be negotiating and discussing. And within no time, the people who are supposed to come and testify in court, in most cases, they do not turn up, telling us that they have already handled their matters. They are not ready to proceed with the court. So these are some of the challenges we are facing, and it's the same reason why we are still having so many cases of gender-based violence in the communities. And because the culture somehow is not yet supportive in fighting it, despite, of course, our cultural elders trying to do their level best here and there, so as to minimize, because this culture is planted in people's brains, it's really making it very hard for us to move far with the cases. And they even become adamant in reporting to police when the case has occurred, because people have it in their minds that these are not serious offenses, these are crimes which can be paid. They become so adamant in reporting to police and in following up GBV matters.
Okay, maybe I want to understand one thing around the management of these cases when they reach police. What is the relationship between police and also the health facilities that are entrusted to carry out maybe some of these tests? And what do you think are the issues that maybe sometimes jeopardize the result, the outcome of the evidence that we get from these health facilities? Because many times there are people who come to testify that when they report a case at police, they first refer them to health facilities. And sometimes when you go to the health facilities, it is hard for you to come up with these results easily. So you are supposed to pay something before these are signed. What is the relationship between police and these health facilities to ensure that this evidence of maybe rape or maybe defilement is got in time, and also people really get the justice they needed?
Actually, when such a case is reported to police, before we proceed far, police is supposed to get evidence to show that this case actually happened. And one of the ways of obtaining evidence is through medical examination by a qualified doctor, where the doctor will examine the victim and will also examine the perpetrator to confirm that actually defilement or rape took place. So after the doctor's report, then police can be able to proceed with other investigative procedures until when the case file is compiled, it becomes complete, and from there the file is forwarded to the resident state attorney for perusal and legal advice. So if the resident state attorney confirms that the evidence in this file is enough, and it really shows that some defilement or rape took place to the victim, then they sanction the case file that police should now produce this victim, this suspect, and the case file before courts of law. So that's when normally we proceed with the matters to courts of law. But minus medical report, it becomes hard for us to really move far with such cases, because the medical examination is a key determining factor to show that some defilement or rape or sex-related offense took place.
Okay, if we look at some of the factors that are really igniting people to move into this kind of cases of gender-based violence, you realize that the issues to do with drug abuse seems to be on the top, looking at these other issues before the cultural aspects come in. First of all, somebody has to do an action when these others are coming later on. But also, if you talk about drug abuse, which has been so rampant, now without the law, what is police currently doing?
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, besides cultural matters, it is substance abuse, which is the next main cause of gender-based violence in the region. And under substance abuse, we have alcoholism and drug abuse. All these contribute to violence in one way or the other, in families, amongst men and women. And amongst, of course, drugs, we have a number of narcotic drugs which were actually barred by the government. Formerly, there was a law against. Somewhere at a certain point, the Constitutional Court scrubbed it off. But right now, I've seen there is a serious bill which has been passed by the Parliament, waiting to be ascended to by His Excellency, the President of this country. And I believe when this bill is enacted into a law, then it will help in reducing cases relating to drug abuse. And one of them is, of course, gender-based violence. Cases of gender-based violence will reduce as people will fear to consume some of these drugs which are not accepted by the law of the country. And one common drug which used to have a very bad effect on the people, which could enable them to easily get engaged or involved in gender-based violence, is cannabis, marijuana, commonly known as bangi. This bangi used to be so strong, and people would really use it, and afterwards it changes the way they reason. It gives them this kind of bravery. They become so brave in committing crime. And that's why some people under the influence of marijuana were able to even rape or defile their close relatives. Some even go for their own children. Some go for underaged children. Because they are under the influence of the drug, they really cannot think normally, because the drug twists the way in which they understand things and the way they look into situations. So because of that, some of these cases were commonly occurring. But because people knew that marijuana was not accepted, it means consumption was controlled. It was very few who would dare to do it, but mostly people feared consuming marijuana or bangi openly because they knew the law was not accepting it. But at a certain point, when the Constitutional Court scrubbed it off, really it was exposing us to all the full dangers of marijuana. But we are happy that the Parliament has passed another bill relating to it, and I'm seeing the punishment is so serious, whereby when they found that you are consuming the drug, or you are in possession of the drug, or you are dealing in it in any way, you pay a lot of money. I think up to around 1 billion.
1 billion, yes.
According to what the Parliament passed.
Yeah, once you are you are liable for a jail term of 20 years, and also you'll be able to either pay the 1 billion or you move with both. So that is one, I think, that is there in the bill. We are waiting for the president of the country, that is His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, to either accept or say maybe amend this. That time we'll be able to also update you, the viewers who are following up on Westnile television. Maybe because we are time bound, maybe let me give 2 minutes for you to wind up this discussion of gender-based violence, and how really people should be able to abstain from really going for this kind of vices that spoil the community. What should people really do in order to stay safe from this? You can conclude in
Thank you so much. In conclusion, I would like to say that reducing or fighting gender-based violence is a continuous effort that all the stakeholders need to put in place. Of course, as police, we are doing our part. Even other CSOs, NGOs are trying their level best to fight it. And of recent, the culture has been put on board. We have the cultural team, or the cultural elders, who are also fully involved in this. And various districts are coming up with the bylaws so as to fight or minimize gender-based violence. So when we put a concerted effort like that, I believe GBV will reduce with time. And we also need to say that we need to reduce on consumption of these drugs. Too much consumption of alcohol, too much consumption of drugs should be minimized in our families, in our homes. I'm happy that in Arua district, a bylaw was passed on circuit waragi and the consumption of these locally made waragis, circuits or waragis, because they were seen as one of the leading causes of GBV in the district. And if similar bylaws are made across the region, and if people change their behaviors, if a lot of awareness is done through mass media, I believe the message will go far up to the grassroots, and we shall be ending or fighting GBV out of our communities. And right now it needs massive creation of awareness. Awareness creation is one of the leading ways in which we can be able to send the message so as to change people's attitudes. When they change their attitudes, they will also change their behaviors, and accordingly GBV cases will reduce in our communities.
All right, that is it from the Public Relations Officer for Westnile Region, that is Senior Superintendent of Police Josephine Ngutia, with me here on Westnile Television. We say thank you for keeping your tabs locked and also watching the KOKOLIRIKO show from the morning hour, that was 7 a.m. up to this time, where we are now leaving the studios for the Lugbara News with the Lugbara team led by Feta Emmanuel, who will be bringing those updates in the local language. But also want to appreciate you that and make sure that these local governments who have the bylaws, please let's dive in and also ensure that we enforce where need be, because if we have the laws and we cannot really enforce them, it is quite unfortunate, and the situation will still remain like when the law was not there. Let's make sure that we fund the enforcement team and ensure that the enforcement is done regularly where there's need, and also curtail some of these vices of gender-based violence. We're out of here. Thank you. Spend the best of your weekend.